Hej alla! Welcome to episode 18 of the Learn Swedish with Katrin podcast. Välkomna till avsnitt 18. I hope you're not hungry while listening to this, because today we are talking about food, and more food. And some drinks as well. Mat och dryck. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty hungry right now, so we'll see how this goes. In order to center this episode around something and not just fire hose you with vocabulary, I thought I'd describe all the foods I love to eat in different categories. So I'll describe the different dishes or meals that I love, and you'll learn new vocabulary and get to know me better at the same time. Win-win. I would love to hear about your favorite dishes as well. In Swedish. Perhaps I'll find a new favorite among your favorites. Go to patreon.com/slow Swedish to join the community for only $10 per month. And of course, you'll also get access to the transcripts, vocabulary lists, and exercises as well. Let's get started. What category should we start with? Perhaps breakfast? There are many different kinds of breakfasts that I enjoy eating. Here are some of them. Yoghurt med havrefras eller granola. Yogurt with oat cereal or granola. Havrefras is a kind of cereal. The general word for cereal in Swedish is flingor, which translates to flakes. Like cornflakes. Amerikanska pannkakor med blåbär och sirap. Yum. American pancakes with blueberries and syrup. I grew up eating American breakfasts because of my dad, so this is definitely a favorite. Swedish pancakes are more of a lunch or dinner alternative. Knäckebröd med keso och tomat eller ost och kalkon. Swedish hard bread with cottage cheese and tomato or cheese and turkey. Hard bread is a super Swedish thing, and it's sometimes called Vasa bread in English, but Vasa is just one brand that makes hard bread. Stekt ägg på rostat bröd. Fried eggs on toast. This is actually what I had for breakfast today as I'm preparing this episode. Toast in Swedish is called rostat bröd, which translates to roasted bread or toasted bread. I like my eggs over easy. No jiggly white bits for me, please. We don't have a word for over easy in Swedish. Perhaps fried on both sides. Stekt på båda sidor. Scones med ost och apelsinmarmelad. Oh boy, some days I have a luxury brunch and make some scones that I eat with cheese and orange marmalade. That is probably one of the yummiest things in the entire world. Holy smokes, I love it. Jag dricker alltid kaffe med havremjölk till frukost. I always have coffee with oat milk for breakfast. Jag gillar också apelsinjuice. I also like orange juice. Now, let's move on to lunch. And here we have my favorite category, sandwiches. I love all kinds of sandwiches. In Swedish, there are two words for sandwich. En macka and en smörgås. I don't think there's a big difference between them. These mackor are my favorite. En baguette med ost, kalkon och tomat. A baguette with cheese, turkey, and tomato. I also love grilled cheese sandwiches, which there are no proper words for in Swedish. Grilled is grillad, cheese is ost, and sandwich is macka. Grillad ostmacka. But if you say that to a Swede, you will get a completely different kind of grilled sandwich, something more like a panini. Another sandwich favorite is a BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich with some mayo. Again, in Sweden we just call them BLTs, but the parts are called bröd, bacon, isbergssallad, tomat och majonnäs. A lunch staple for me when I can be bothered making it is a tuna and pasta salad that my grandmother used to make for my dad and that my dad made for us growing up. I make it with fullkornsmakaroner, whole grain pasta, tonfisk, tuna, gröna ärtor, green peas och majonnäs. Mayonnaise. Mix it all together and voila! Great protein and fiber bomb. But perhaps the most common lunch for me is leftovers. In Swedish you can say rester, which means leftovers, or you can say en matlåda, which means a food box, i.e. leftovers put into a box. My favorite leftovers are kall pizza, cold pizza, and lasagna. If you go out to eat, you might order en sallad, a salad, or en soppa, a soup. Or visit a fast food restaurant and get en hamburgare eller en korv, a hamburger or a hot dog. Is korv the ugliest word in the Swedish language? It just might be. For lunch, I normally just drink vatten, water. I prefer kranvatten, tap water, over bubbelvatten, sparkling water. Sometimes it's also called kolsyrat vatten, carbonated water. Not my favorite. Why would I want to drink something that tastes like normal water but hurts when I drink it? Okay, now let's move on to dinners. My favorite carbs are pasta, ris, and kokt potatis. Pasta, rice, and boiled potatoes. Oh, and bread, of course, but I won't count that for dinner. I'm not crazy about fries, which we call pommes. My favorite proteins are kyckling, lax och tonfisk. Chicken, salmon, and tuna. We eat a lot of köttfärs here at home. Minced meat. It's not my favorite overall, but bolognese is my favorite dish in the world, which is made from köttfärs, so I guess it counts. In Swedish, we call pasta bolognese spaghetti och köttfärssås. spaghetti and minced meat sauce. If I'm being honest, I'm really bad at eating vegetables. There are some vegetables that I like, but there's something about a cold salad with my hot meal that just doesn't sit right with me. My favorite vegetables are broccoli och blomkål. Broccoli and cauliflower. I also like gröna ärtor, green peas. Bladgrönsaker, leafy greens, are the worst in my opinion. They taste like ogräs, weeds, and I hate the sensation in my mouth, especially rucola, arugula. Yikes. Anyway, my favorite dinners are kyckling och ris, chicken and rice, either with soja och ingefära, soy and ginger, or perhaps tikka masala. I also love everything Italian. I spent 2 weeks in Florence a few years ago and had pasta twice per day. Never got sick of it. I also love Mexican food. Burritos, tacos, nachos. Yeah, we don't have any unique words for those. When it comes to typical Swedish food, that is called husmanskost, which directly translates to house man food. I guess it means something like normal food a man in a house eats. Kost is a more formal word for food and means more like a diet. In normal conversations, we just use the word mat. Typical husmanskost is meatballs and potatoes, of course. Köttbullar och potatis. And a dish called pyttipanna, which is tärnad potatis, diced potatoes, lök, onion, and kött, meat, fried together and served with ett stekt ägg, a fried egg, and rödbetor, beets. We also eat a lot of korvstroganoff, but I don't think that's very Swedish from the beginning. We make it from a Swedish sausage called falukorv, which looks exactly like the old Statoil logo. I'm not sure you guys know what it looks like, but I'll make sure to post pictures on Patreon. I'd say that husmanskost 9 times out of 10 is something with potatis, kött och lingonsylt. Potatoes, meat and lingonberries. When I eat dinner at a restaurant, I will most often go for fisken, the fish. Because fish is one of my favorite proteins, it is so expensive, and my boyfriend doesn't like seafood, so we never have any at home. If there isn't any fisk on the menu, I will go for en pastarätt, a pasta dish. And if they don't have that, I'm fine with en burgare, a burger. One of my absolute biggest guilty pleasures when it comes to food is McDonald's. I love McDonald's. In Sweden, the nickname for McDonald's is Donken. I know it's such low quality food, but it's a nostalgia thing for me. I've had those same flavors for like 30 years and I love them. My McDonald's order is a McFeast with fries and Coke Zero and an extra cheeseburger. Yum. I don't drink a lot of läsk, soda. When I do, I drink sockerfria alternativ, sugar-free options. I do, however, have a soft spot for Red Bull, but I don't drink it very often. Bara lite då och då. Just every now and then. An interesting thing in Sweden compared to some other countries, especially the US, is that when we get pizza, each person gets their own. We don't split pizzas and think of them as slices. My normal pizza order is either a tuna pizza or a Vesuvio with garlic sauce and pizza salad. Is pizza salad a Swedish thing? All pizzerias have the same kind of cabbage salad. My boyfriend is insane and normally orders a kebab pizza with fries on top. En kebabpizza med pommes. When it comes to evening drinks, I actually like drinking mjölk for dinner. Milk. I know some people think milk is just for kids, but honestly, nothing tastes better than a cold glass of milk after eating something semi-spicy. At a restaurant, or if it's a nice dinner, I love rödvin, red wine. You can also say rött vin. Both are correct. Vitt vin, white wine is fine too, but not my favorite. And I don't enjoy öl, beer. Honestly, I don't enjoy any carbonated alcoholic beverages because I lack the ability to burp. So if I drink too much carbonated alcohol, I will throw up just to let the air out. Fun fact about me. It took me a few pukes to learn that about myself. My favorite cocktails, which we call either en cocktail or en drink, are spicy margaritas and espresso martinis. Gin and tonic and mojitos are also okay, but not necessarily favorites. This, I'm sure a lot of you know already, but to cheers in Swedish, you say skål. You can also say in I dimman, which translates to into the fog. It means time to get drunk, see you on the other side. It's pretty funny to say, especially when you're at a nice dinner with family or something like that, where it's obvious that you're not planning on getting drunk. I think the last category we need to cover is snacks. Things that aren't really meals, but still count. Sadly. My boyfriend is obsessed with chips och godis. Chips and candy. Especially surt godis. Sour candy. I'm not big on either. I'm more of a fika kind of person. I love en bakelse, a pastry, en kaka, a cookie, en tårta, a cake, all that kind of stuff. I think a really good American-style chocolate chip cookie, which we would call en cookie, is my absolute favorite, followed by en blåbärsmuffins, a blueberry muffin. The word muffins in Swedish is pretty funny. Some people say en muffin, but muffins with S is way more common. So even in singular form, we use the English plural. En muffins, a muffin. I also love dryck, charcuteries, ostar, kött, oliver, kex, cheeses, meat, olives, crackers, yum. My friend, Filippa, that has been a guest on my other podcast, Slow Swedish with Katrin, made the most insane dryckbricka, charcuterie board, a few weeks ago. Or it wasn't so much a board as an entire coffee table. I'll post a picture of that on Patreon too. Whew, that was a lot of food talk. Now, I want to know all about your food preferences. What you normally eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what you love to snack on, what your favorite drinks are, and I would love to know if you prefer this way of learning new vocabulary, or if you prefer some of my other episodes where I just share vocabulary with you and then give some example sentences. Your feedback helps shape this podcast going forth. I want it to be as helpful and enjoyable as possible. All the new words from this episode will be gathered in the vocabulary document that is linked on Patreon, as always. If you want to check it out and complete this week's exercises, go to patreon.com/Slow Swedish and join us for only $10 per month. Now, I'm going to go eat some food. If you want to say enjoy your meal in Swedish, you say smaklig måltid. It means tasty meal. Smaklig måltid. Tack för att du har lyssnat på podden. Vi hörs nästa vecka. Hej då!